Now, I did plan to cover what men can do in an era of both blatant disregard and downplaying of men's abuse, but that video will have to wait till later. Reasons? Well, there was this clip that actually tried to talk about the double standards of physical abuse when it happens to men. Now, credit where credit is due, for the most part, they covered such a topic, and I agree with almost all the things that they say. Until when it came to this clip. Before I let you watch it for yourself, I would just add that this is just one clip out of the entire video, and will advise that you check out the full video in the link in the description. Also, the particular moment of toxicity by some of the hosts, you would find out who soon enough, and the crowd does not invalidate the points made by the overall host. Now let's take a look at the clip and talk about it after.
Somehow provoked.
It's never
But that's
okay.
what that's then saying
That's
if a
what the
woman
men say.
does something that she provoked me.
Right.
And so then
can't-
if we don't allow that to happen, we can't allow this to happen.
But
I
you
think
have to
actually
be
the
real-
UFC needs to do something. MMA, mixed martial arts needs to, reprimand her in some way.
I've had a situation where somebody did something that I didn't like that was a boyfriend. Yeah.
What'd you do?
Well, I took his phone and I chucked it out the window.
But not at him. Yeah.
I want to.
Well, I wanted to throw it at him, right, but the window was closed.
But there should be there should be a no tolerance, at all in any of the major sports.
Okay, so stating the obvious, right out of the bag, it seems that a host that lacks proper food etiquette also lacks a good amount of self-awareness or even composure. But primarily, she seems to lack a sense of morality and self-reflection. Now, why would I say that? If you are incapable of understanding that destroying someone's property is not okay if you are mad with them, and worse, if you think it's the appropriate line of action to take in order to prevent yourself from abusing your significant other, then you have serious toxic problems to deal with. There were also multiple other things that blew my fucking mind in just this clip. The fact that she said this with so much confidence and even got a few panelists to go along with it, as well as the crowd reaction, really puts a perspective on the issue at ground. This is somewhat comparable to an idiot saying, I know you shouldn't rape a woman, but slapping them on the ass in public should be acceptable if she doesn't give you what you want, right? The only difference is if someone, especially a man, were to say something so stupid like that, the public will destroy him. However, because many women are secure enough to be belligerent in public about their toxic behavior, she can say such a thing on air as if it were a better alternative to abusing her boyfriend. In fact, the irony is that she blurted out that she would have thrown it at him, but the window was closer. This is how men are treated. Even when talking about the double standards of abuse towards men, it's still acceptable to make jokes or promote toxic ideas at their expense. But at least this shows patterns we can learn from. Toxic women like to expand on their power trip as a form of accomplishment. And because society deems it okay, they continue doing it because there are little to no consequences for it. In her head, she probably thought it was okay to say what she said because after all, it's better than abusing a man directly. And it very well may be to a limited extent, but not by much at all. Damaging someone's property isn't that far off from damaging someone's body because you still hit them in the pocket even if you don't hit them in the face. But a toxic woman would not empathize with such fundamental facts, even though she knows what she is doing is wrong. This is because she can't stop herself because she is power drunk and gets a rise off emasculating a man. I swear all this BS tires me, but it has to be exposed because a good enough exposure has been done on many female toxic traits, but very few covers normalized abuse or property damage effectively. So I would endeavor to cover more of this. Hopefully, I would be able to talk about solutions in the next video. But until that time, it's Polyboy, and I would see you next time.